Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And we see them in today. We have a pretty serious show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to our Dreamerspro Short Clips channel that we have linked in the comment section below. Let me get into this story here. As you know, there was a very big game in the NBA last night between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. It was a pretty late game where I was. So I was able to watch the first 3 quarters and a half. But once I saw that the Golden State Warriors were leading that game, I said to myself, well, there's no need staying up to see the end of the game, because I thought that they were going to win. I think at that time they were probably up 12 or 14 points, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to go to bed. Then I woke up and I started checking my phone, and I started seeing images of Anthony Davis like holding his head, and I'm like, wait, did this guy get injured or something like this? What what happened with AD? Fine. So we later find out that Anthony Davis ultimately got injured. He got hit in the face, I believe it is, with an elbow, if my memory serves me right, from what I saw, by Looney, right? And it looked like an inadvertent elbow, because usually around the basket, when players are trying to corral a rebound, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of flailing, and sometimes freak injuries happen. You even saw Paul George go up, come down, land. All kind of crazy stuff happens when teams are trying to, when NBA players are trying to go for rebounds. So AD gets injured. He gets hit in the face or in the head, and apparently, based on some of the reporting that I got, or that I heard, he was then escorted out of the game, and I think he had to leave the game in a wheelchair. So imagine the shock that the guy experienced with that particular hit. So this morning, woke up researching various topics, and then I came across a pretty troubling report from ESPN, their YouTube channel, where they had a panel together discussing the severity of this particular injury and the potential it could have on this series in terms of AD possibly missing some games moving forward. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what these guys had to say here on ESPN, and then we're going to come back and continue with this show here. Take a listen to that.
This is a huge story this morning. We're going to bring in the whole team. Wendy, Vince Carter, Alan back with us. Wendy, what's the latest on what you're hearing about AD?
Yeah, so, this isn't just a matter of whether he's got an injury. It's a matter of whether he's got a concussion. And the Lakers obviously were feeling that he was improving last night, but every concussion is different. He's going to have to be monitored today. Sometimes symptoms don't present till the next day. The difficulty for the Lakers is if he has to enter the concussion protocol because of timing, because of symptom recovery, because of baseline procedures, he almost certainly would not be able to play in Game 6, and Game 7, a possible Game 7, would be in doubt. And so that's why it's so fragile, and it's not something that they can necessarily make a decision on last night. They have to wait to see how it goes today. So I would like to say that there's a ton of different things that happened in this game. There's a lot of stuff that the Warriors did, but the entire NBA playoffs right now is riding on whether Anthony Davis is diagnosed with a concussion today or not, and There's no other way to put it.
And you mentioned the possible diagnosis today. I want to just say there was no mention of a concussion after the initial evaluation last night. So as Wendy says, we'll see what happens today. Alan, though, really tough situation potentially for the Lakers.
Yeah, absolutely. And they the good news is that after the fact, they were saying he was improving, which generally does happen. Let's remember, if you go back to football and Tua Tagovailoa, he felt fine in that second concussion game. They put him back in the game. The Dolphins got a lot of criticism for it. It was the next day the symptoms started to creep out, and then all of a sudden you realize that he did have a concussion. That's what makes the next day. That's what makes today probably the most critical day, and it's a non-game day in the Lakers season.
Yeah, Vince, this is the last thing you want to see happen in the playoffs at this particular time. And you look at Anthony Davis there. What did you make of all this?
100%, particularly with Anthony Davis being up and down and then all of a sudden playing consistent basketball and The way he's been playing, when he was good, he was dominating. Nobody can guard him. Draymond, whoever you put out there. Kevon Looney played it well, being a taller guy, but Anthony Davis was dominant in the paint, and what that created is other opportunity for other guys. Took some of the pressure off LeBron, feeling that he had to play the big minutes and carry the load offensively. Now, if he's available, what guy will you get? Will AD be the guy where he's dominating still, or just another body on the floor? So it's a lot of things riding on this outside of just health. I hope and I know the Lakers will do the right thing in protecting the player first, regardless of this season. I mean, he's so important to this, but you cannot put him out there, just like Han said, you can't put him out there after the Tua situation and now be the next person or team to do so, and a situation happens. But yes, AD's availability is huge to the success in the future in the playoffs for the Lakers.
So you heard what those guys had to say, that it's a pretty serious injury. Now, what I did was I searched online to find out some more information about this, and I was able to unearth some information from CBSSports.com, where they basically talked about the NBA's protocol, concussion for protocols, because some people were like laughing, like, well, he's going to miss some games. And it seems like some people don't understand the severity of this particular issue. So I just want to read a little bit of what this article had to say here from CBS Sports. It says, according to Haynes, the Lakers are optimistic Davis avoided a concussion. But in the event that he is diagnosed with a concussion, the NBA has firm protocols that would make a return in time for Game 6 questionable. A player diagnosed with concussion should be regularly monitored for 24 hours for the evolution of symptoms, and accordingly, the player may not begin to return to participation exertion process until 24 hours after the time of injury. The league's concussion protocols reads, for a player to return from a concussion, the following criteria must be met. He must be without concussion symptoms at rest. He must be evaluated by a physician. He must have successfully completed the NBA return to participation exertion process. The team physicians must have diagnosed the return to participation process with the director of the NBA's concussions program. So that's where the NBA stands with this particular issue, right? That's where they stand with this. Here are my thoughts on all of this. I'm conflicted. I really am conflicted about this AD news, and I'll tell you why. Anthony Davis, at no point in time, has ever been my favorite NBA player. In fact, dating back to the year 2020, when we really started getting into sports content creation, I was pretty hard on AD. I said that I didn't believe that he would be the cornerstone that the Lakers were looking for in terms of leading that team into the future. As somebody that followed the organization for 15 years supporting Kobe Bryant, I knew the caliber of player that they needed. And it wasn't just about your skills and your production. A lot of it also had to do with your intangibles, right? I just didn't believe it. And as time went on, we started to see that AD, for whatever reason, could not seize control of the franchise and become the number one option. So I've never been a huge fan of AD. So when I found myself over the last few weeks defending AD, I could just see the irony in it, that I was defending him. Why? Because here's the situation with AD and the media and fans in general. AD is now the poster boy for problems with the Lakers. He's their official scapegoat. If the Lakers have a good game and he plays well, oh, AD, thank God he played well. But if they lose, the first person they're pointing their fingers to is AD. It's like no matter what AD does, if AD plays well, as if they're not other things affecting the game, right? So AD has always been the one that everybody trashed. And as a matter of fact, before producing the show, we put out a comment on the channel where I said, this AD injury is a strange one. Some are speculating that he may have a concussion, and if he does, he will have to miss games. What I hope is that he doesn't have one and still feels the pressure to play, because the same people he will be trying to please are most likely the same ones that trashed the guy from a game-to-game basis. This injury presents so many different storylines, and one of our viewers left a comment, man. He's called Real Street, and he said this, and I thought it was just great. He said, it also shows you how fake people are. They love you when you're up, kick you when you're down, Some people have never been through adversity themselves, so they just like watching others go through it. What a comment. What a powerful, powerful statement that gentleman made right there in the comment section. To me, listen, I hope it's not a serious injury, but I know the fact of the matter is there are a lot of people that don't care if AD has an injury or not. Some people are saying walk it off. Just go out there and play. Just go out there and play. Literally. So to me, man, I hope it's nothing severe because nobody wants to see anyone get injured. Well, let me not say that. There are a lot of people that take pleasure in watching people's favorite players get injured. There are a lot. Trust me, I know. I've been going back and forth with a lot of them over the last month or so. They know who they are. They know the player I'm talking about. They know exactly who they are and all of the big talk they were doing when they saw someone's favorite player get injured. I'll leave it to the side. But there are people that get a kick out of doing that. But I hope it's nothing severe. And I hope that people that are expecting all of this stuff from AD, I hope your primary focus is the guy's health and not some damn game. Because it would be highly hypocritical for people to go out there and trash Skip Bayless when he made those comments about the NFL player that had a very, very severe hit. And everybody trashed him. But in the case of AD, people are like, well, just get up and go out there and play. Wow, the hypocrisy will be loud. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.